Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is Kosala, also known as Marventus, bringing you the very first 2v2 cast for my channel. Alongside with me, I have my guest commentator for the day, Mr. Fire Silver. Say hello, Fire Silver.
Hello.
And he is also my 2v2 partner. So he's playing, so this is totally a first-person perspective game. In a very, very unusual ZVZ matchup all the way around. So here in the top right-hand corner we have Mr. Sun Italy, the blue zerg, one of our opponents, and in the bottom right-hand corner we have Mr. Stonken, the red zerg, who is also one of our opponents. In the left side of the map, in the top left, we have myself, Mr. Marventus, and in the bottom left we have Mr. Fire Silver. Right, so it's left side versus right side. So let's see. This beginning, not terribly interesting. We're all droning up as you can imagine. I've got an overlord coming out here in the start of my ramp. And here on the opponent's side we have a very early spawning pool going up at 10 supply for Mr. Sun Italy. And what is Stonken doing? Stonken is busily droning up. He is now at 13 supply, no production buildings in sight, so he's focusing on his macro. We have a drone droning around here doing nothing. Yeah, he's back on the mineral line now. Sun Italy now venturing out with... Oh, he's chasing away Fire Silver's drone who came scouting there. Nice and early. And when Fire Silver and myself play, we generally like to have an early scout to figure out what's going on with our opponents and then adapt accordingly. And generally we would have him do some sort of Ling Muta play and I would do a Roach Hydra play. But in this game we decided to change our minds a little bit and go with the flow as things happened. So spawning pool now up and running for my for one of our Zerg opponents. And in the bottom right, we have a spawning pool just about to pop out for Stonken. Fire Silver, you want to talk a little about what you're up to at this time?
Yep, my spawning pool's gone down at 14 supply. I've droned up to 60, and I've had some drones running around my base. I have one waiting in the choke to see if any early rushes come, and a blue and red drone is now heading into my creep. And as I was droning up, I did see that the red one did place a spine crawler, sorry, and so did the blue one. I took 2 drones off the mineral line to get that, and my zerglings were just about to spawn to help take out the red one.
Oh, cheeky! We've got 2 spine crawlers on either side of the base there. But nice snappy response to that dealt with that, I see. Do either of these go up? No, neither of them look like they're going to be going up. So for all of you who are viewing there, 3 drones is what it takes to take down a spine crawler. So no need to panic at all. Not at all. Queen's out and lavaing away. Spawning pool is out and my droning is doing decent here in the top left hand corner. In the bottom left hand corner we have Fire Silver matching my drone count there. Spawning pool out there as well. First couple of zerglings are on the map, and now blue and red are congregating here on the right hand side with their first salvo of zerglings meeting there in the middle. Let's get a production tab up, which I've been ignoring up until now, and see what's going on. Red has a Roach Warren coming out. That is Mr. Sun Italy down on the bottom right. Mr. Stonken rather. That would be Roach Warren coming out for Stonken. And then along with 6 Zerglings, and he's also getting down his first expansion. I'm popping out an Overlord, and Fire Silver is popping out an expansion, Zerglings, a Queen, and Metabolic Boost all at the same time. Alright, we have a few more Zerglings coming out for me, and now we've got, I think it looks like we have a gathering of Zerglings here for Sun Italy, who's parked them at his base. Across the board everybody's getting their Metabolic Boost upgrades and looking to move forward with some speedling play. Fire Silver has expanded at 22 supply, getting that first hatchery. I tend to be a little bit slower on the expanding whenever we play our games because I macro up a little bit of an army ahead of time in case we get rushed early on, a thing which I occasionally forget to do, but this time I didn't. So my teal colored lings are heading into the middle of the map to keep Fire Silver's lings occupied as well there. And I think we might be doing an early rush in here. Speedling popped for Fire Silver. Speedling not quite yet popped for me, still on the way, halfway approximately, waiting for that to happen. But in the meantime, we are being accosted by some lings and roaches from Stonken. Let's see how this goes. We have my lings, not quite speedlings just yet, popping in there. to be met by even more of our blue zerglings as well. And do we make it? No, we don't. They have just enough forces to drive us out this time. But we also took down quite a bunch of theirs. So they don't really have any bit of an attacking force there right now, but they're going to foray out into the middle of the map anyway. Now you see we've grabbed the Zelnaga tower, so of course we can see everything going on right now. Fire Silver, you want to take off from here?
Yep, they moved their forces after taking out ours as a counter push against ours. He's only got 2 roaches, and his lings have just been destroyed going into my natural. So that was held off quite easily. And they're trying to make another push in the middle with 5 more roaches.
Here come my lings to finish off what was left there, but Fire Silver took care of that all by himself, so didn't need any help at all. We have 5 roaches coming in from Stonken here, who is, let's see if he goes south or north. I think it looks like he's going south, which means he spies something that scares him off. And he heads right back. Didn't even come, actually couldn't possibly have seen my zerglings, but he backed off anyway. Spire almost finishing for Fire Silver now. So he's taking up to Mutas and Lings, and I am going to be taking up to Banelings any second now, I would imagine. So sticking with the ground army on my side. Now still I've got no hatchery up, so things are really starting to get to the point where I ought to be sticking up a hatchery now, because the mineral count is starting to add up. Back at our opponent's bases, we have a little gathering of roaches and lings there in the front. They've both gotten their hatcheries since quite a while ago, and their droning has actually not been that incredible here. Got no drones happening at all for Sun Italy on the hatchery, despite having put it up there ages ago. Now both Fire Silver and I are starting to head out now with a batch of lings to see if we can cause some havoc. And here we go. Those roaches look like their lives might be limited. We're getting a full surround almost, backing away a little bit, and then coming back. Yeah, those roaches are definitely going down. And again, we were held off there by Sun Italy's Ling population, which has been now morphing into a bunch of Banelings as well. In the meantime, what's going on in my neck of the woods? I've got still no Baneling trying to nest up. I've got more Lings on the way, 16 more, and we have the first 4 Mutalisks for Fire Silver coming out. And a Spire now going up for Stonken as well. Fire Silver, you want to take it off from here? I see your Mutalisks heading out there.
Yep, they're heading out to do some early harassment. I went for blue instead because blue seemed to be going for the more zergling heavy build, so they would be an easier target, and yep, managed to get in there quite nice and early.
Here we go, coming around the north of the map now. Absolutely no defenses set up at all against this, so I imagine Sun Italy is about to have the surprise of his life. Here we go, what do we got here? We've got a little exploratory foray of 1 row of Mutalisks coming in, and these drones look like they're gonna get absolutely nowhere. We have a queen trying to do the best she can, but she goes down in a big hurry. That's a big monetary loss there for Sun Italy. Drones trying to get away, chased by Fire Silver's Mutalisks. Another queen coming in, but this couldn't possibly end well. That queen goes down as well. No chance at all against this many Mutalisks. Coming down to meet a few Mutalisks from Stonken, but simply not enough to battle this many Mutas. That was the end of that. Fire Silver emerges victorious and goes directly into more drone harassment. While that's going on, Sun Italy is actually doing a bit of a push here of his own. Some Zerglings and some Banelings. Look at those Zerglings dancing around that first central Baneling. He must have those on follow or protect of some kind, because that just looks totally weird. Even more Mutalisks zooming by the group to do continued harassment. We have the Banelings coming in. Are they going to do a lot of damage? They're trying to run around to the mineral line, met with my Zerglings, and we seem to be more or less okay. See how this goes? No, they actually managed to take down my Zerglings. So Sun Italy's Lings are still in it, but being chased now away by the Mutas from Fire Silver, now being joined by his earlier gang as well. Took a stab at my hatchery, but that got saved by Fire Silver. He's running into my main base to be met by 2 sets of spine crawlers. No chance there. Sees that and runs right back out. Managed to save 2 or 3 Mutas. No, actually he doesn't. He managed to save 3 Lings, but that's about it. So that attack failed as well. In the meantime, droning decimated in the main base of Sun Italy and in the first auxiliary or the first expansion of Sun Italy, who is now wasting a massive amount of money putting down spore crawlers everywhere, it would seem. Now let's see, I still haven't got a Baneling's Nest up here myself. We have 4 more Mutalisks coming out for Fire Silver, and I've got another 14 Lings on the way. And there it is, a Baneling's Nest goes down at last for me, nice and late in the game, in order to give me some extra firepower. But in general, at this point, we are nicely ahead. Let's take a look at the income tabs and see where we are. Let's see, Stonken doing very, very well with his droning, well ahead of the rest of us, but the other 3 remaining are in the same sort of zone. Back to the production tab, what's going on here? Fire Silver's doing a bit more of a foray with the Mutalisks, and he's met with the spore crawlers, but he's going to be taking down that evolution chamber. And will he take down the spawning pool as well? Yes, it looks likely. No, the spawning pool lives to fight another day. In the meantime, Stonken has tossed out some corruptors. He's meeting the Mutalisk threat with some corruptors of his own and a little foray of Mutalisks as well. Doing a little patrolling there in the north part of the map, but at this point Fire Silver has already backed off down south. So Fire Silver, do you remember why you didn't take out that evolution, rather the spawning pool?
Well, I expected the Corruptor and Mutalisk Bull from Red would be soon coming north to try and take that out, so I thought I'd take my losses and try and get back, because I did have another batch of Mutalisks spawned, 2 or 3 back at base, so I'd just head back, get my Zerglings, regroup, and then head and attack with you in the middle.
Sounds like a wise plan to me, and in the meantime, my Lings are heading up in the middle, few of them now converting to Banelings. The idea is to try to take down as much of the economy of this auxiliary hatch as possible, or first expansion for Sun Italy as possible. You notice we're ganging up on one player until he goes down, which tends to be the most effective way to play. Banelings pop there, not a lot. I've just got 1 row and a little bit of Banelings, and I've got a whole bunch of Speedlings, and we're going to go rushing in, and while things are kept occupied by the Mutas and the Lings, the Banelings will run around and try to explode as many of the drones as possible. Here we go, Banelings running in, completely unharmed, knocking the bunch of stuff. Queen goes down, drones go down, looking solid. Lings follow directly afterwards. That mineral line is completely wasted. That's 3 queens falling to the Lings, to my Zerglings there. Utterly decimated. Looking solid indeed. Now the Corruptor's giving Fire Silver's Mutas a bit of a hassle here. And in the end, with the damage done, we decide to back off, but I run some of my Lings up the main base anyway. Or do I? Oh no, I actually run right past it this time. Gonna grab that queen as well. That's 4 queens down in this rush. That's actually pretty damn excellent. Now I'm running up to the main base. Let's see what I can find there. Very little defenses. That Hydra is going to go down in a hurry. I've got an awkwardly placed spine crawler there, but I tried to take that guy down anyway. Even more damage being done to the economy of Sun Italy now, who is very severely damaged. I don't think he has a drone on the map. 7 more Mutalisks coming out to Fire Silver in the meantime, and that spine crawler looks like it's going down as well. It has managed to hold its own reasonably well though. Some Mutas coming in from Stonken to save the day, but in general, that's that. That spine crawler actually managed to survive. I will have to send yet another foray to take down this very, very resilient hive indeed. But as you can see, Sun Italy has been irreparably damaged. He's got 1 drone mining over there. He's got 1 drone mining at his base. He's got absolutely no economy worth talking about. Let's see how he's got here. He's down to 60, 80, 100 minerals per minute. Nowhere near anywhere he should be. So let's go back to the production tab, see what's going on over here. I've been a little lapse here with the droning on my secondary. I've only got 1.5 rows running. But my economy is pretty solid, as you can see. Massive amounts of gas, minerals being used up as they show up. But in general, in excellent shape. 22 more Lings coming out for me. 3 Mutas coming out for Stonken. And we have Fire Silver taking a little bit of an exploratory foray with his Mutas again, doing his magic boxing trick first before heading out. And I think that looks like it might very well be the end of the blue base. Oh no, he's being met by the Corruptors and Mutas of Stonken and needs to back off. So Stonken just managed to catch sight of that. Now I'm running up my Lings while this happens, but I see the retreat, so I immediately back around the corner to avoid the view of the flyers of Stonken, go around the long way, and try to take down the base that is being pinged there on the map by Fire Silver, because he's got absolutely very little going on here. Here come my Lings into the scene right now, surround the hatchery, and it lasts no time at all. We have one spine crawler on its last legs there. That's going down as well. Now the question is, will this main base finally fall at its third attacking round? So here we go, running up the ramp. What have we got here? We've got one spine crawler, the hero spine crawler, still standing in that most awkward of positions, where I can only have a few lings hit it. But here we go, gonna give it a try anyway. I tried to surround it, but that Baneling's nest was in the way, so he'd done the placement of that really quite outstandingly well. But that spine crawler does go down finally. This time there's nothing to protect it. There's just basically a few spore crawlers in there, which will do nothing against these lings. So that base is finally going down, and we should see, there it is, Sun Italy has GG'd and left the game. Over to you, Fire Silver. What's happening on your corner of the map here?
Well, just after defending his attack from the south, his Mutalisk and Corruptors tried to walk in, do some drone harassment, but luckily I wasn't too far off the map and I was able to come back and destroy them. My main reason for taking out the Mutalisks over the Corruptors is that we had a mainly ground army half of the time, so by taking out the Mutalisks he could do no ground damage with those Corruptors, and he was nowhere near going to Broodlord, so by having them dead we were able to move in with more ground forces without being too badly damaged by Mutalisks.
That sounds like some excellent thinking on the fly there. Yet another Night Queen about to go down, just got transfused there in the absolute last second. My goodness, that was close. Right, and the Corruptors being transfused as well. Right, all back to full health. So we have a little bit of an aerial army. Stonken now on his own against the two of us, and surviving reasonably decently. Stonken played well throughout the entire game, pretty much. And now the Mutas from Fire Silver have gone in and taken out what was left of the base while that was going on. That hatchery is down as well. Even if our blue Zerg had not GG'd out, he would be well and truly out of the game at this point. I have a Hydralisk den popping out here because what with there being only one opponent left, I figured some solid DPS army would be the way to go. I'm not sure if I actually had time to make any use of this Hydralisk den. Let's find out in just a moment. Because we are now heading to the end of the game here. And all we have really is Stonken standing on his last legs with his Muta Corruptor army. He's got absolutely nothing on the ground. Does he even have any ground unit production buildings? He's got a Roach Warren up and he's got his spawning pool up, of course, but that is pretty much it. It's pretty much it. I've got 5 Hydras popping out here and 5 more Mutas coming out for Fire Silver. Stonken is trying to augment his Muta army with a couple more, but let's see what's going on with Stonken here. It actually seems to be producing vastly less units than we would expect for him. He's getting more Corruptors, a couple of Spine Crawlers, yet another Spore Crawler. Yeah, he's preparing for an aerial, a continued aerial assault. In the meantime, I've amassed a bunch of Zerglings, a few Hydralisks, who for some odd reason are hanging out there. There must have been a misclick for some reason. Let's grab those again. Right, and we should be more than ready to push out with this army. Let's take a look at Fire Silver's. He's got almost 1.5 command groups worth of Mutalisks. That is astounding. That is astounding. Here we go. Muta's running in for the final foray, we think. And I'm following up with my Zergling and a small army of Hydras, which will be focusing down those Corruptors. Let's see how this goes. It'll be a battle at the beginning of the map. Here go my Zerglings inside, being harassed a little bit by the Mutas. I run right past and go straight for the Queen and the base, while Fire Silver's Mutas come in to deal with the air. And now my Hydras should be coming in soon after. Here we go. They're going to take a little diversion there and start single targeting down the Corruptors, which are being kited around by the Mutas from Fire Silver. And look how fast the Corruptors go down to just that very few amount of Hydras. Being harassed a little bit by his Mutalisks, and the last of my Hydras go down there. But at this point we have got a massively larger army. My Lynx have completely destroyed his entire mineral production there. And after that little foray, we are backing off again, leaving just the aerial army of Stonken left. So he does manage to survive that round. How did that go for you, Fire Silver?
Yeah, it went decently well. The problem was that he was quite smart in sending his Corruptors after my Mutalisks at the very start of the engagement, which is why the Mutalisks were able to harass the Zerglings early on. I tried moving them around the back, but those Corruptors, being slower, I still had to shake them off first. Then I moved in to take them out. But we didn't manage to take down that many Corruptors. We could have used a few more Hydralisks and they should have been gone. But we should be ready to push soon. I've just regrouped my muters back at my base. I currently have 30 with 1-0 upgrades compared to his,
And true to form, I'm tossing out my Hydras here as well.
which have
Do you have
0-0.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got my Hydras out now in a slightly larger fleet, and we're about to be met in the middle by this army of Muters and Corruptors. Unfortunately, they're walking straight into a wall of Hydras who are going to be doing a huge amount of damage to them, fully upgraded for damage and defense. They do go down really quick to the Muters, as you can see though, but from behind comes Fire Silver with his vast foray of Muters there. Now I'm popping down yet another hatchery simply because I've got a large amount of minerals left over in the meantime, but this is clearly over as the vastly superior Muter army of Fire Silver is taking down these corruptors, and that is the end of that. The whole army disappears. There's nothing else left. This should be pretty much GG at this point. And any second now, there it is, Stonken has left the game. So there you go, boys and girls, my very first 2v2 cast, and I hope you enjoyed it a great deal. And thank you to Fire Silver for guest commentating with me on this round. Until next time, folks. You want to say bye as well there, Fire Silver? Indeed.
Good game.
Ta-ta and
See you
have an
later.
outstanding Christmas.